When I first came to Penn, I was really intimidated by just being at Penn. As being a woman of color, I felt really intimidated. I felt like I didn't have a community. I felt like I didn't fit in. But then when I came to the Women's Center, I felt safe and I felt like I finally had a community. Whether it was with my colleagues or with the students that would come in or just my everyday experiences here. I run a child welfare program at a nonprofit in North Philadelphia. And I think my identity as a feminist or being a feminist really helps me work with my clients because I think my goal, not only with my clients, but with my case managers, is to empower, is to support, and I think that that's what a feminist does. They want to empower, support, encourage, and that's what I think I do every day in my job. And I've always considered myself a feminist. And I've never been embarrassed to say that I was a feminist. And I've always been so proud to say that, even as I grew up in a very old school Mexican family where in Mexico you don't really say things like that. Oh, I'm a feminist. You don't say things like that. And I always told myself that I was a feminist, and I always told my mother, I always told my grandmother, no, you're a feminist too. I remember this. So when I was 21 years old, I was working in San Diego, and after the sexual assault after I was sexually assaulted, after I was raped, I remember one of my colleagues, who was a man, asked me if I enjoyed being raped. And I remember thinking, wow, he was an older man. And I remember I was 21 years old, and I thought to myself, are you kidding me? And how could you ask me that? But I remember that was one of my first times where I was like, wow, I don't think he would have asked anybody else. He wouldn't have asked a man if that would have happened to them, but he asked me, and it was extremely strange, painful, and awkward. During my time at Penn, I remember receiving the Voices of Color Award at the Women of Color Luncheon. And I remember feeling very empowered when I was telling my story to my colleagues and my professors, and it just really helped me remember how much I've grown as an individual, how much I really got my confidence back, because I hadn't spoken in years at that time. And it was a really memorable moment for me. And I remember it was really emotional, but it was a happy emotional. And if it wouldn't have been for the support that I had here at the Women's Center, I don't think I would have been able to go up and do that and speak in front of, I don't know how many people. It was a huge group of people. The advice that I would have for a new student or new feminist coming into to Penn, I would just say, remember who you are, love yourself, and know that everything that you do and everything that's happened to you in your life is just going to make you a better person. The Penn Women's Center is safety, home, compassion, funny, awesome, family, and strength.